All right. So, sorry about that. Okay, so we are still on Windows icons organization. So that settles that. So what we have learned so far, we've learned how to create Windows icon. We have also learned uh how to add existing file in the folder you created. Now, let's us quickly look at how do we rename the folder. Supposing you create a folder and for one reason or the other, you want it to be renamed. Just like this, if I could just bring this out. Let's assume I want to rename this folder. So you have your own reason. So how do you do that? You right click on that folder and then you go to show more option depending on the window type you are using. And then you select rename. So once you click on rename, then it will now bring back the write-up in an editing mode for you to be able to change the name. So you can just enter the new name. Let's say I'm just adding something like TT just to, okay, let's say this is the name. And then you click outside. Click outside. So I would not like to change it because it might be, let me see, you click outside. Then I can take it back to the name it was before, which is project 2. So that is how to rename your folder. Now, the next we want to learn is how do I create a program icon on my user interface? For example, now I want to use Microsoft Excel and I want its icon to be programmed on this user interface to add as shortcuts, as quick way of accessing it. So I will just right click on an empty space, then navigate to new, and then look for the name of the app here. So you click on it. So henceforth, you have an icon representing Microsoft Word for accessing it quicker. Ordinarily, you can go to Start, and then you can access it from here. But if you have an icon representing it, you can easily access it through that icon. So there is another way you can actually access it as a shortcut. If you don't want to depend on creating the icon on the user interface, you can pin it to the taskbar. So the whole of this bottom section is called the Windows taskbar. So all the tasks you are currently performing are expected, the program are expected to be active here. For example, now you can see WhatsApp is active, Photoshop, now PowerPoint, the Zoom. Now, if I want Microsoft Word icon to be pinned here, all I need to do is to go to the Start button, then look for it here, right click on it, and then select what? Pin to taskbar. So henceforth, you can come here and click here, and that will open the application. So that is how to manage a program icon on the desktop or the user interface. Okay, so if I could just go back to our slide to look at what we plan to cover within the stipulated time. We'll talk about hiding Windows icon. So there are reasons why individuals may want to make their icon invisible. For security reason, I may not want my icons to be active. So how do you hide all the icons? It is very simple. All you need to do is to right click and then you go to view and then come to these options that says show desktop icon. So with this, you have automatically hidden all the icons. Okay, so if you give this system to a novice, what he or she will be thinking is that the computer is still booting. But you and I know that the computer has completed that process. Now, when you want to bring them back, the same steps that you follow, you right-click and then go to that same word, view, and then hit the option, show desktop icon. So with this, you have all the icons are resumed back. So all these that I'm teaching us, they are things you are supposed to know as a computer user. I can tell you if you bring out 100 persons out there that are called professional computer users that did not go through this basic training you are having now, you discover that what they don't know these little things. Okay, so it's important we understand them. Now, the next thing I want to teach us is how to fix the entire Windows icon. What do I mean by fixing them? For example, if you try moving this, it moves easily. It means that somebody can easily disorganize the icon. Somebody can easily disorganize the icon. So if I want to restrict them from changing the location of my icons, all I need to do is to get them fixed. So how do we go about that? You right-click on an empty space, and then you select, you right-click on an empty space, then go to that same word, go to that same view, go to that same view. Now, this time around, you arrange the icon using auto method. So if I click here now, all the icons are arranged different from the method I showed us the other time. Second, please. All right, different from the method I showed us the other time. Now, let's try moving the icon again. If I try moving the icon now, you can see that what? It will not stay. It's going back to its what? Location. Because we have what? Fixed them. So it's just like you group them. And the reason could be different. My own reason is that I don't want people that I'm going to give this computer to easily change the location. You might not know the implication of someone changing the location of your icon. For example, now, I already know that this particular folder is always here. All the time is always here. Now, if I give this system to someone and the person changes the location, it can increase the time of accessing that icon. Okay, so that is one reason. Another reason why you should fix the icon is that you don't want them to be what? Disorganized easily. Like when I hid the icon the other time, the reason could be the security reason. It could be security reason. Because there are some individuals that are found of once they have access to someone's system, the next thing to do is to start scanning the person's file, looking for important file to open without proper authorization. Is against the ethics of computer. So some of them can just see, maybe CV, and just go there and start opening and say, let me see the person's what? Personal information. But when you hide them, it makes it impossible. So that is one. So let's go back to the slide and look at another thing I plan to cover. We have already looked at what? Renaming Windows icon. So let's look at setting a personal image as your GUI background. That is also a security operation. For example, I want to use my personal picture to personalize the system, so that if anybody come across this system, looking at the picture on the user interface tells him or her that he is the right owner of the system. So how do I change it? You right-click on an empty space. Then this time around, you are navigating to personalized option. Personalized option. So once you click on it, it brings out what? This interface. So from here, you go to background. From background, you can see different images that I've used previously as my graphical what? User interface. So supposing I don't want to use any of this. So I can just click on this. As you click now, the window background has updated. If I come back, you can see that what? Now I having what? A different background for my window. So if I go back there, supposing the one you want to use is not among these ones, then you go to browse photo. So from browse photo, you will now be able to locate where exactly you kept that picture. Sometimes you have to go to Google to go and search for a very nice background. So if I may just take out there for a second, so that because it's part of the things you should know how to do when you are looking for fine background to use as your graphical user interface. So I will just open a browser. So open a browser and simply type let's say you need background, just type background. So if you can be more specific, maybe you have a particular type of background you are targeting, so you can be specific about it instead of just typing background. So let's assume that I want to go to image so that I can see elaborate version of different word picture. So let's assume I want to use this as my Windows background. So all I will do is to right click on it and then save image as. Save image as, and that will pop up a dialog box like this. So from here, I will specify where do I want to keep the picture. Let me keep it on desktop and then just name it BG. I will just name it what? BG, and then click on save. Now the image has been downloaded directly to the desktop, which is this. Now, how do I now use this as the user interface background? So how do I now use it as the user interface background? So what I will simply do is to go back to where I was exploring the feature. Then this time around, then go to the browse picture photo and then navigate to where you saved it at the time you were downloading. I saved it on desktop, so I'll scroll. If I don't want to waste my time searching for the name of the file, what I will simply do is to type the name BG here. Once I enter the BG, if you are in that directory, it will bring it out and then simply click on what? Choose picture. Then it will automatically what? Call the picture here. So as you can see, if I go back to the user interface, now I am having that background as my computer what? User interface. So let's quickly look at some few things you can do. The way the background is filling the user interface might not be okay by you. So this is where you control it. Look at the option that says choose a fit for your desktop image. So under here, I have different options. I can select what? Tile. Now, guess what will happen? Tile. You can see that tile duplicated the picture, which has given me a kind of design. If I want, I can maintain it. If I don't want it, I go back and then change from tile. I can say stretch it so that I can cover the entire window, as you can see. So these are some of the things a computer window user should know how to do. Okay, so that takes us off from there. So the last thing I'm going to teach us, because we will be going for 10 to 15 minutes break, and then when we are back, we will now commence the Microsoft Excel training. So please, if you know anyone that you feel that is missing, before we return into that section, please make sure that you reach out to them. The link that is posted in the group chat
send it to them and encourage them to join this section. Now, let's quickly go back to the slide and see if I can still cover one more. So the last one is window security. Window security, which is what I'll be looking at here, is passwording. How do you secure your window? We live in the world where there is so much cyber threat today, and that is the reason why programs like cybersecurity is trending. A lot of people are now venturing into the computer activities that is giving more vulnerability to the bad guys. So you need to have an idea on how to secure your system. So if it is your personal system, please learn how to password it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show us is how do you create a user account. In this case, because of time, I will not go through creating the user account, but I will show us the button you can click in case you want to go through that on your own letter, and then I will show you how you can password your account. Before I log into this system, an interface was prompted asking me to input my password. And then I did that, and then I gained access to my system. That is a way of securing the system. So automatically, that is what we know in your phone. Your phone as a wallpaper or screen lock. You know, some of us, you have screen lock password, and then you have application password. For somebody to use your Facebook, the person must enter a password. For somebody to even see the application, must see a password. So all these are security measures put in place to secure your system. So how do we go about that? Is an element of the control panel. So there is a unit I am going to expose us to in a second called control panel. But before that, let me sound this warning so that you don't go and destroy your system. The control panel is like the virtual background of the entire window that constitutes the settings that determine the behavior of your Microsoft window. So you can go there without having knowledge, without having deeper knowledge on a particular feature, and turn it off, and then end up making that particular function or application that depend on that feature not to respond. So that is just an advice. So how do we get to the control panel? It's very simple. Just come to your system taskbar. Remember, before I started, or at the beginning part of this lecture, I said the whole of this part is called the task bar. Why is it called the task bar? All the tasks you are performing with the system, their program icons are pinned here. Now, you can see a search box here. So just go in there, click on it, and then it will bring out what? This dialog box. A dialog box is a computer environment that presents to you an option or options for you to what? To choose. So from here, what we are looking for is not here. What exactly are we looking for? We are looking for control panel, but it's not listed here. So I have the privilege of searching it out here. So I will just type what? Control. Once I type control, you will see all the program command with the keyword control popping up. So I will go to what? Control panel. So from here, it's going to take me to the heart, the virtual background of the system. Okay, so everything that you are using, every feature you are exploring on the system, indirectly is connected to this place. So what brought us here is how we can password our user account. After you have set up an account, how do you lock it? Now you can see a command called what? User account. So you open it up. So once you open this command up, we have 4 key options that you need to know which one will actually give you access to different accounts before we can talk of passwording them. So we have change account type. Now there are 2 types of Windows accounts. Let me quickly run through them. We have the administrator account. We have the standard account. An administrator account is an account that have full control over the system. So you can see how you can secure your system with the what? The administrator account. So if I want maximum protection of my system, I should go with what? Administrative what? Administrator account. Because if I am running administrator account, I can install a program, I can delete a program, I can make any changes that I want. But if I am going to give the system to someone else to use, I will not going to give them access to log in as administrator. I will create another account called standard account. Standard account is limited. If you are running standard account on your system, you cannot delete application. You cannot change key option or features on that system. So if I have created a standard account and I want to switch to administrator account, this is the option that will do that for you. So once I click here, you can see it's asking me, that was security alert, asking me for a permission, whether I have the authority or I have the privilege of doing that. Now you can see this automatically prompts me the numbers of accounts I am currently running on my system. I have an account called cyber security. I have an account called user. Now if you check all of them, this is an administrator. This one have full control over the system. This is also administrator. This is also administrator. But this is, once it does not carry this, it means that what is a standard account. Now, let's assume that I want to make this person what? Admin. Initially, you added the person as a standard account. Now you want to make him or her admin. So you click on it, and then you see what? Change type, change account type. Then you have the two options that I've mentioned so far. So you can see that what? Currently, the person is on what? Standard. Then I can just switch the person to what? Administrator account. So it means that henceforth, this person have equal rights with me. He can uninstall application. He can what? Install application on the system without my permission. But if, for example, I switch the person back to standard, and I click here, now back to what? Standard. If I give this person my system to use, just for you to know the security measure I have put in place. If I give him or her this system to use, anytime you want to delete anything from this system, he or she will be asked to supply a password, an admin password. Then if he or she cannot input that password, then that will bring the person towards an end on that what operation is trying to perform. So these are ways you can secure your system. Okay, so that is an account. Now, there are other things I can do if I want to change the name. Why is account name changing important? Initially, you employ a staff, and the staff name is Okoro. And then after some time, you sack that staff, and you employ another staff to take over the system. There is need for you to change the user account name from the previous staff. So what you do is that you click here, and then what? Put the new name, and that will override the old name. Let's say if I want to put, let's say Faith, and then I click on what? Rename. So you can see that what? The name of that account has automatically changed. Another thing again you should know how to do is, how do I delete an account from my system? Because having too many accounts at times can cause your system to be very slow in response. So what do? You can delete it so long you must have back up all the file in that account. But I will show you, if I attempt to delete, I have fantastic option here that says that, yeah, you are about to delete this account. Do you want to retain the file, or you want to delete the account and the file? So if I choose keep the file, it will delete this account and create a folder called Faith on my user interface, where I can always access the file that were in that account. So ladies and gentlemen, if I now want to create a new account, which I'm not going to take us all through because of time. You click on what? Add a new account. So once you click on add a new account, it will ask you what type of account you are creating. If it is Microsoft account, it requires you what? Entry an email. If it is not, then you click on this option that says what? Sign in without what? A Microsoft account. And that will allow you to specify that you want to create a local account. Type in the name, the password you want to use, repeat the same password, enter the hints of the password, a word that once you remember that word, will help you to identify your password. Okay? So now, once you have done that, the next thing you are going to do is to click on next. But like I said, I don't want to go through that for now. So that is all about how to manage user account. Now, another thing I want to show us before I end this section is that how do I switch from one account to another? Right now, I am in Prosper account, Egwero account. How do I shift from this account to another account? All you need is to click on this window icon. Once you click on it, you will see the current account you are using picture here. Tap it, and then you see other account. So if I want to switch from this account to Faith account or to student account, what I'll simply do is to switch. So click on it. Okay. So once I click now, you may not be seeing me now, but it's actually switching from my account. So you can see that right now we are in Faith. It has password. So if I have the password, I will simply type it. If I don't have it, I'll switch back to my account and then click here. So I am back. So that is how to switch accounts. So any question, please? Question time. So I'm going to give us 5 minutes to ask questions regarding what we have explained so far. And like I said, we'll be going for a few minutes break. When we come back, we will start Microsoft Excel. The Zoom link will not be logged out, so you can remain active while we wait for that time. If you have any question, please, you can ask your question. Ask your question. You have any question, please? Question, if you have, kindly unmute and ask your question. So if you don't have question, next Saturday is another opportunity for you to learn coding. So you can see after this training now, this is going to go viral as well. So tell your friend it's going to be free coding class for teenagers. So, but if you feel that you don't know what teenagers should know and you are an adult, you can private chat me that, sir, allow me to join the class, but it's actually customized for teenager. So if there's no question, see us in the next 10 minutes. And then when I return, I am going to be exposing us to Microsoft Excel. So thank you for joining.